Hey, it's Bree Bagwell with your OnlyFans recap. And from Atlanta, Georgia, this real deal husband and wife team, Kira, Annalise, and Willie, Heath, Neal, are just two darling human beings joining me today who formed the duo, the Waymores. Today, we sit in the RV and talk about how they fell in love, how they ride together, what it's like being best friends and music partners. You know I love a road warrior, and these two are two of the hardest working musicians I know when it comes to the highway. They have dates coming up in DC, Tennessee, Ohio, Texas. They've played all over and even overseas. So head to thewaymores.com for tour dates. The Knot is their newest album, which came out February 26, 2026. It's very Johnny and June vibes and witty and honest and real, and you're going to love it. Okay, enjoy. Hey y'all, it's Bree Bagwell. I want to invite you to join me August 12th through 16th in Red River, New Mexico for 8750 Music Festival. This boutique festival features 4 days and 4 nights of outstanding musical performances across 5 venues and includes a barbecue cook-off and a red and a green chili cook-off. 3-day passes are on sale now, and your ticket gets you into every show of the festival and includes 2 free meals. You can get tickets, sign up to compete in the cook-off, and learn more at 8750festival.com. That's 8750festival.com. And use coupon OnlyVans. That's OnlyVans, all caps, no space at checkout to get $10 off your 3-day pass. 8750 Festival. Adjust your altitude. By the way, me and producer Kyle, we're both playing at the festival, so you can come see us there.
Yeah.
Like,
Willie calls it urban yodeling.
I call it urban yodeling.
That's amazing.
Yeah. When what changed my life, we recorded with Shel Talmy on our album before this. I don't know if you don't know, people listening don't know who Shel Talmy is. He's an American producer that went to England. He was part of the British invasion. He discovered the Kinks and the Who, and he's David Bowie's one of his first managers, and he just passed away last year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
But he never made a country record.
Hey, everybody, this is Bree Bagwell, and this is my podcast, OnlyVans, where I talk to my friends in my van.
I wear a hat because it just covers my forehead wrinkles.
Oh my God.
So you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I had some struggles with that when they had to shave my head. I was like, oh, at least it brings out all of the wrinkles on my forehead. How great for me.
How great for me. I know I saw pictures of you,
Yes.
but you look so cute.
Yeah, that was a great thing is, it's like I was going to love her either way, but I was like, they shaved her head, and I was like, you still hot. You still look great with no hair.
That's what you want out of your husband.
That-
You know,
Like,
to think
still
you're hot
baby.
with a
Good
shaved
news.
head.
Good news, baby, you're still hot.
I love that.
Thank God.
That's what Paul, he says still hot too sometimes, which is very sweet because right now I have on medical grade compression stockings.
Amazing.
And you would think like, stockings. No. These are like
No, I've
hideous.
seen them. I've worn them. I've
Terrible.
been there.
Yeah, and he's like still hot. We got good men. We got
Yes,
lucky.
we do.
Wait, so you're touring in a van? That's what you're touring
Yeah.
in?
Yes.
Mhm.
What do
You
you
see
have
the
on
big dance. Oh, we're not allowed to talk about that because we're so
It's fine. So we've got it's a 16 passenger Ford E350,
50,
whatever.
yeah. The touring beast. Those things
About
Those things
like a
are
year and a
beasts.
half
They
ago,
are.
we got hit out in
Waxahachie.
Waxahachie. And it's still in litigation. Not our fault. We're great drivers. By
Yeah.
we, I mean Willie, because
Right,
I
right,
never
right.
drive.
Yeah, it was. We're really not supposed to talk about it.
That's so funny. Okay, well, we can always bleep it out.
Our lawyer was
Yeah.
like, "You're not allowed to post about it, talk about it," so we really can't talk about it.
Yeah.
I put it in a song, scratches and dents are just highway souvenirs.
Yeah.
Like that's what, and then now anytime the band hits anything or breaks anything, they're like, it's a highway souvenir. And I'm like, no,
yeah.
not when you do it. Not when I do it.
Ours would be a souvenir shop at this point.
Oh, that's
It could be an
Yeah.
entire store if
Yeah.
that's the rule.
I'm glad you're okay.
Thank you,
Yeah,
thank
it was.
you.
But the biggest part of that was because Kira was fresh out of brain surgery, so we got jostled pretty hard, and she has to go. Anytime, if she fell or anything, she has to go get checked out.
Only for 2
Yeah.
years. We're a year out from the final surgery now. So 2 years after the final surgery. I'd have to go get checked if any bump or bruise or anything happens.
Right.
Just to make sure nothing gets jostled in there.
I know. I was wondering if you were going to want to talk about it or if you
Oh,
don't
no.
want to.
We had to be so public with it because our fans and friends and family all helped.
Right.
It's a $400,000 surgery.
Oh, that's all?
Each side is $200,000.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Even with insurance, it didn't.
Insurance covered a lot of it, and I was paying an ungodly amount for insurance at the time. But I still think we paid close to $40,000 out of pocket.
Out of pocket.
And all of our fans, that was all them. I think from our actual pockets, it was probably like $20,000 or $15,000.
Yeah, we
Everything
weren't
else was
even
fans.
going to, that thought never even came to us. We're not those people that all started GoFundMe. Our publicist started a GoFundMe.
Well, because I asked her for work. When
Yeah,
I was like, can I work for you doing publicist stuff while I have the surgery while I'm recovering? And she's like, no, girl, recover. Like, focus on your recovery.
That's so beautiful.
I'm going to do this.
Yeah, it
and
is.
thank God for her.
And
So,
I went and worked some construction
and
some stuff too, which is, if we're not working on the farm, when we're not on tour, our family has a farm that we have to, and they're kind of, getting up in years, so they can't handle everything on their own. So we go down and we're farm hands mostly now when we're not on tour.
I know I saw a video of you guys on the farm, and you said because animals are better than people, and I was like, me and we're gonna get along just fine.
Always better than
Where
people.
is that farm at though?
It's in Middle Georgia. It's about 50 miles south of Macon.
And it's about 200 miles from Savannah. It's on I-16.
Yeah.
It's called Dexter, Georgia.
Cool.
Yeah, right
There's
beside
not
Dublin.
even a stoplight or a grocery store. There's a Dollar General, and we were thrilled when that happened.
Yeah.
They call it the Dexter Mall.
The Dexter is just a
that's
Dollar General.
amazing.
Yeah. So you got to go into the next big town, which is Dublin, Georgia, which is only 15-minute drive. You got to go into the town to get groceries and see the big city.
That is so fun. I bet that's a perfect place to recharge because you guys are on the road so much. I look at your schedule, and that's why I was like, what are you touring in? Because that's got to be a workhorse, which, by the way, they don't make those vans anymore.
They're not, and
Which is so
when we
sad.
got that one, man, we searched and searched. Our thing when we got it was like it had to have less than 100,000 miles on it, man, and that's why we were so aggravated about the situation because we had not had it. We had it less than a year, and it still runs fantastic. It just looks like hell. But everybody wants those vans. We have friends that tour in those things, got over 500,000 miles on them.
I went through two of them, and then I was going to get a third one, and I just couldn't find one really.
Yeah.
And so I got a Sprinter van, and it almost bankrupted my company.
So we had said we're either going to get a Sprinter or one of those, and we took our band out on a run in the Sprinter,
In a
like a rental. It was a Transit. Ford Transit.
Yeah.
And so same thing. And they were all like, we hate these because it didn't have the benches. It was all like the capsule
You can't sleep in them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't sleep
So they were
on
like,
it.
we hate this. You have to get the
So I love driving. I do all the driving. We came back and I was like, ooh, this has been fun to drive. And so we get in from the tour and I asked everybody, like, what did y'all think? And they go, we hate it back here. I was like, oh.
And
Yeah.
thank God,
Yeah.
because they are crazy expensive.
Yeah. But those vans are great. If Kira and I, sometimes you got to do a drive out after a show, to make it's, you can just pull over, jump in a bench, grab an hour or two sleep and get back at it.
Yeah, exactly.
And we do everything we can to not pull a trailer just because, man, you get into Chicago, man, the last thing you want to be doing is, I don't want to pull a trailer in downtown Austin.
That's actually much to the dismay of me and our lead player.
Yeah, but,
we beg him to get a trailer all the time.
I'm like,
and
no,
he's like,
first-
no, it's
yeah.
not happening.
One, it's advertising that you're a band, basically,
Yeah.
Very
But,
true.
Yeah.
But we managed to we toured one time with like a 7-piece band, including us, and we managed to get everybody, because we took the 2 back benches out for gear. We managed to get everybody and all the gear in that van without, I'm like, no trailer.
That's so smart. I think that's what killed my Sprinter was they're not necessarily made to tow, or then the engines and transmissions that I lost on the other vans was all from pulling a trailer, I'm sure. So good for you. And I think that it's so much smarter when you start. You're like, we need all this stuff, and then the older you get, the more you go on the road. You're like, I would like less things.
Oh, that's
Yeah, stop telling him that, Bree.
Yeah, less
I want a
things to-
trailer.
oh, sorry.
She's right. And the other thing
things to
about
pay
it
for.
is, man, we're a country band. We don't need big gear.
No,
we make
don't.
the drummer. Usually, we tell our drummers whenever we got a couple guys we use, like, man, we need kick, snare, hi hat, and ride. That's it. I don't need every. If we don't have a lot of merch, because that's important first. all the merch goes here if we get all the gear. It's like, well, maybe every now and then we let them bring like a floor tom, but most is like, man, we need kick, snare, hi-hat, and ride.
But at this point, I think we need a trailer for like all of my dresses. And boots and hats.
That is the thing about, I mean, I got this thing for my dog so she could travel with me, but it is when I go on the road, even though if I'm going for one night, I get so frustrated because I'm so good at traveling, but it's like I literally, my boots, my belt, my jewelry, and my hat, and my hair stuff, and my makeup stuff, that's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot.
And I want to be minimalist, but it's literally impossible.
Yeah.
I try my best, especially on like one-offs or weekends. I'm pretty good about that, but then if it's like longer than a week, even clothes I haven't worn in a year, I'm like, oh, but I might. I should bring it just in case.
I get on stage in the same boots I work at the farm in. I'll take 2 pearl snaps and a Stetson, and I'm good to go.
Yeah. I need several different hats because what if?
What if?
And a bunch of different dresses.
That's exactly right.
Paul depends on how I'm feeling.
He gets under my skin, and he does it all the time on purpose because he'll say, okay, I have to get ready for my show, and he'll take off his baseball cap, and then he'll put on his cowboy hat, and he goes, okay, I'm ready. He wears the same jeans for 2 weeks on the road. I mean, it's insane.
I've had these jeans on since we left.
Rude.
And it looks cool. And it looks
so
cool
rude.
and fine. Yeah, rude. I know. But you guys are okay. So I'm really bad about sometimes saying like who we even have here. So the Waymores are here with us now that we're 10 minutes in.
I was going to say all that weird shit.
Yeah, no, it's great. Oh, we got to start over. But I'm so glad y'all are here. But you are married, and so I know I get to play with my significant other, and it is the most fun. Being on the road with your person is so fun.
It is.
And I love that you guys get to tour the world together, and it seems from what I've just watched from your Instagram and your documentary and stuff is you love being on the road together.
That's it.
We do.
It's music is a means to travel. We love music, but it's like if we didn't have the ability to play music, then we would be in some other profession that made us travel because I just cannot sit still.
It's a shame that we weren't born like millionaires because we'd be so good at it. We're so good at just spending money and traveling.
She knows how to spend money. Amazing. I know how to drive.
Yeah, you know how to drive me to the places I spend money in. But it is really fun. And I think that we both, Willie more so than me because I didn't really play music when I met Willie. But it was always one of his goals to have a partner that he traveled with and played music with and just thought that it would be great. So I was like, that's who I'm going to be. And now we do that.
Yeah, when Kira and I met, I was about 15 years into a solo career, and like the first year that we met, I was on the road like 200 days that year. So it was like we barely, and then her career started. We met in this ensemble in Atlanta, Georgia. And it was a big Opry style thing. I played bass too, so I'd play bass in this thing, and then I'd sing some. And everybody, everybody would take turns singing. It wasn't just like one front person, but it was a corporate thing. And they had a residency in a bar there in Marietta, Georgia. And when I started doing it with them, I had a little bit of a name, and they were like, "Would you be a part of this full time?" And I was like, "Yeah." They're like, "You bring a level of legitimacy to it. Would you?" And I said, yeah, they had a female singer, and that girl was a train wreck. And I said, yeah, man.
It wasn't me.
It was Bree Bagwell.
It was actually Bree Bagwell.
It was you. But the girl would just she couldn't sing to begin with. And, she thought because she could belt out a Janis Joplin song that was singing. And I was like, and so she was just a buffoon. And I said, well, I can't, that girl's got to go. And we've got another girl in mind that we want to get. Kira was East Cobb famous is what we call it. And,
don't ever say that again.
But they're like, we got this other girl that we want to bring in to be the female vocal, and it was Kira. And so that's how we met, was in this big corporate ensemble. It had fiddle, it had mandolin, it had drums, bass, keyboard. Her brother actually played keys in it, and that's where we met. And that's and then she started. I still had my solo career, and she started her career. And, it was always a struggle, It's like, man, I'm trying to make child support and pay. It's like, I can't, and so we started doing the Waymores as we didn't want to oversaturate our names, but we were looking for a way to play in town, like bar gigs. And I had a record label saying, you can't be doing that crap with your name, oversaturating.
Right.
So we started calling it the Waymores just to not oversaturate our names. And it wound up, we made a little video of us doing a John Prine and Hours to Mint song.
Oh yeah,
and
In
it
spite of
got
ours.
traction. And it was a show like HGTV.
It was HGTV.
They were
did
having
one of those
They were having a reveal
fixer-uppers.
party
Oh, my gosh.
out in Arizona.
It's like where they redo your house,
Yeah.
and then they have like the big reveal.
They weren't filming it for the show. It was just they were having a party to celebrate it, and the people that whose home it was had asked us to come out to Arizona and play this party, and we were like, this was 2018. We were like, okay, just off that little video. So we booked a little tour. It wasn't, it's like little bars and patios all the way out there. But we went out there, toured, and didn't even have a record, just that little video, And we just never stopped touring. We came back from that run and made an album. We were like, well, we're going to need a record.
I think we did a few, and then people started asking us for an album, and we were like, oh.
And
yeah,
so we
never even considered that.
We actually did an EP. We wrote 5 songs that we had, and on the vinyl we have just some old tracks, some stuff that we had done. But that's how it started. We never thought the Waymores were going to be anything but a patio band.
That's how the best things start.
It is.
And then just kind of the vibe that I got was that you kind of made her sing a little bit more than she was like.
Well,
is that...
I was singing with my brother's band before I met Willie, but I never played an instrument or anything. I actually had a huge crush on Willie. Like it was the second time I met him. The first time I hated him, but the second time I met him, I really was like, oh my God. And so I learned how to play guitar to flirt with him. And I learned 3 chords and wrote a song like a night later. And then I brought it to him the next week and I was like, hey, we should play this. Like, I mean, I don't know where that confidence came from, because now I would have like wet my pants before I'd ever do anything like that. But so I learned the guitar, wrote a song, brought it to him, and we were playing it live by the next week. And then that never stopped. And we just started writing together and playing together. And it was going to be me like singing backup for Willie for a while, I guess. And then it just kind of...
You did that for a few Willie Heath shows.
And then once we started the Waymores, it was like a song swap. A lot of the time it was... I like it when he sings more because my voice always burns out quicker. So I just like doing less work.
Like women needed one more thing, but no, it is actually male vocal cords are different than female vocal cords.
They are.
And so it's like, I can't go out and drink and yell and my boyfriend can. Like it's just like
he's got such resonance in his voice, just that deep, like vibrating, so he's just lucky as can be when it comes to natural ability. Mine just kind of craps out on me every few days.
The first song she wrote this song, and it was a banger. It was called "We Had Nothing" because it was my initials, WHN.
But I didn't tell him that. I didn't tell him that till like a year later.
I didn't know that.
So she would, and I was like, "Damn, that's a good song." And so then she was like, "Well, she didn't really know country music that well, and so." She was just kind of singing blues-ish kind of stuff. And I said, you want to stand out, you should try singing some country stuff, because every woman in Atlanta is singing the same stuff because you want your voice to stand out.
You said it a lot meaner.
I was very nice. I said, you should try singing some, some Loretta stuff. And she would do it, and man, just nailed it. But she would come to me. She barely knew how to play 3 chords. She goes, I wrote this song. And I was like, damn, that's a good song. And then she would go, and I'd say, okay, we'll try to write a song just using 2 chords. And then she would do that. And then I'd give her a homework assignment. She'd come back with a banger every time. And then I was like, try to write a waltz. And she would do that. She was just, these great, and I was in a rut. Like I hadn't written a good song in like 2 or 3 years. And I was so mad. It was just because I have that kind of theory that you don't really write them. You're just kind of an antenna, and you're out in the universe, and you just kind of receive them,
Same.
And the life that you live conditioned your antenna to receive,
Okay, that's you just summed up my whole songwriting religious philosophy.
My antenna had been broken like for a while, so Kira's coming to me with these songs that were like heavy and deep, and like I was like, oh my God, your antenna, you got Wi-Fi. I mean, you got cable, your antenna is good. And, but I would give her, I was like, we'll try to write a song with just 2 chords in it. And she would come back with one, and I was like, damn, that's another good song. And finally, she's like, oh, do you want to hear a song I wrote? I was like, no, I hadn't written a song in 2 years. I'm tired of hearing these great songs coming out of here, just starting to write music, So, she actually got me out of my writer slump. The first song we ever did together was a song of ours called Matches. Mm-hmm. And I had written this chorus like I mean, not lying, like 10 years ago. And I never wrote verses for it. But I'd carried this chorus around with me forever. And she came in. I came to her one day. We weren't living together. I just came to her house. And she goes, I wrote these verses, but I can't come up with a chorus. And she played the verses. And I was like, you know why? It's because I've been carrying the chorus around of that song for 10 years.
And your antenna was just pointing at her.
Yeah, my appointment it was pointing.
It was attracting her.
We started writing together, and I'd never been able to write with anybody. When I lived in Nashville, people were always like, we should have a writing session. I'm like, how does that even work? I don't know. I don't know how to do that.
It's hard for a lot of people.
How the songwriting process is with me was nothing like that. I have to write from my experiences, and usually I can't write about shit in the moment. It's got to be. But man, Kira is like, boom. We were writing together, and it still goes that way. Like songs just come out all the time. She's like, I've got a verse, but I got no chorus. What can you do? And I'll write a chorus or vice versa.
It's so much easier when you get to kind of split the work like that.
Yeah.
Because it's a struggle. Just writing in general is hard for us, for me. For some people, it's not. But so I'll come up with a chorus or a verse, and then like part of me just kind of wants to either let it sit for a little while or give up, which is usually the thing that I want to do. And Willie is always like, okay, then I'll pick it up from here. Like once you're done with it, what you want to give to it, I'm going to give the rest to it. And then we'll come in and like tweak each other's, parts.
And sometimes, it'll be like, hey, this is a good duet. It's like I wrote the male perspective, you need to write the female's perspective. But now, it's like, well, we got to do sometimes if I come up with like, hey, here's a good concept. It's like, I can't tell Kira, because then it's like, are you going to write the whole damn song before I even? Like, that ain't fair.
You got to hold it in for a second.
I do the same. I hide a couple of them. Yeah,
so I'll just keep a couple of them in the pocket. Like, don't you dare write this song, Dewey Cox. Don't you dare.
That is so fun. Are you writing a song about me right now?
Yeah.
That is so fun. I love that. And I think there is a lot of pressure to co-write, and I write a lot by myself too, but Paul and I write really well together. But I feel that with you because a lot of times when I get out of a co-write that's been hard, or when a song starts to become hard, it's so easy for me to just, I'll come back to it. Because going through that, like trudging through the mud of getting a song right is so exhausting. Like songwriting to me, people think I just sit down and love to write songs. Like I actually haven't written in a while. It's hard. It feels like
that's how people
work
write
to me.
Yeah, that's how
people write jingles,
I'll
not
read,
songs.
we can write the hell out of some jingles, but that's about it. Like at a certain minute number 7, it's just kind of like,
Another
what
thing
are we
that
doing
happens
here?
with that is, your antenna, you're receiving these songs, and like you start losing signal, and then so you'll try to force something, and it's like, oh, now it sounds contrived.
Hey, this is Bree Bagwell, and if you want to listen to this podcast early and ad-free, subscribe to my Patreon at www.patreon.com/Bree Bagwell. Howdy, y'all. It's Bree Bagwell and Whiskey, and I know you guys always support the people that support me, and this will be no different. So let me tell you about Deep Ellum Brewing Company. Born and raised in Deep Ellum, Texas, Deep Ellum Brewing Company has really made its mark in the beer world. Known for its flagships, Dallas Blonde and Deep Ellum IPA, they put boring beers to shame with a full lineup that is unapologetically not brewed to style. My favorite is Dallas Blonde, which I took home for the holidays and let my family drink it, and they drank it all. It's fine. So head over to deepellumbrewingcompany.com and open the beer vault and give your fridge what it deserves. You'll see why love runs deep for Deep Ellum Brewing Company. Available in Texas and Oklahoma. Side effects include severe happiness, and you must be over 21 and not a chihuahua. Please drink responsibly. Job, you did a good job. You did.
Are you ready to take your merchandise to the next level? Well, just ask me who I use, and that is CH Lone Star Promo. They specialize in screen printing and direct-to-garment, embroidery, laser engraving, anything promo related, they can do it. Step up your merch game now with CH Lone Star Promo and tell them Bree and Whiskey sent you.
That's the problem. I've written with a couple other people outside of Willie, and that's...
What?
There's...
Divorcing on this podcast.
This just in. Beep, 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 beep. But I always left sessions feeling like what I held close to with the song was kind of shit on, like that it was just kind of like not the thing that it didn't turn out the way I wanted to. It didn't go the path that I was feeling when I was writing. So I never felt a writing session. I never left a writing session feeling like, oh, that was exactly what I thought, what I wanted. I always left feeling kind of, turned down a little bit. And so when I write with Willie, it isn't that way either, because I'm a total brat with him, and I can be because he's my husband and he signed on for it.
That happens so much, though.
The law says I have to like you.
The law says you have to like every
amazing.
song I write, too.
There's your next song. The law says I have to
The law
like
says
it.
I
That
have
was
to love
in
you.
our vows.
Amazing.
That is it. We got to write this song. The law says I have
Yeah.
to.
That is so
Legally, I
perfect.
have to love you.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I love it. Well, we should talk about the knot because, the content of it it has a very cool theme throughout, you know, and it's very real. But you got also lucky, not just with songwriting. I was going to say this earlier, so I'm backtracking a little bit, but not lucky, but as a partnership and a duo with the writing, and that flows very nice. But the way that your voice, the register of your voice, you guys can sing duets so easily because your voice is so low. Paul and I, it's harder for us to sing duets sometimes. He can do way more rangy than me, but it works so well together. Just the range you sing in.
My range was not always what it was until I started working with him, and his was so low, but mine was really low as well, true alto, I guess is what that would be. But I had to push it so much to hit higher registers when we would sing together that I ended up with vocal nodules twice. Because I was just not doing proper techniques and just really pushing every night and trying. Our first few tours together, we didn't even have monitors. It was just mains. We were just getting by with whatever we had. So I was really, really pushing my vocals, and ended up having to get surgery twice for vocal nodules. And I was like, okay, we're going to reconfigure some things. But now it is a lot easier. I think my range did expand a little bit to fit his a little bit
and
better.
the same with mine. So here is our deal. It's like with harmonies, we don't really sing harmonies. It's a lot of people say, oh, you'll have great harmonies. We're not really singing harmonies, we're singing octaves. But that's okay in country music. I mean, George and Tammy did that all the time, But what we've learned is it's more important to not step on each other's range. Right, it's I'll just try to stay low when she's going high, and it works for us. It's believable, I think. And we were really, man, for a while. And one of our producers on our second, he was just on, y'all have to learn how to sing a proper harmony. What you're doing is great. And man, it ruined the joy of singing. I was in my head so much about it that I was scared to sing, and I was just finally. Then we had another friend. It's just hey, man, what y'all are doing is great. It works. It's got character. It works. Don't listen to them. So,
I think it fits the content of the song.
I think so too.
It's two people that are in it together with the real content. That people have said things to me too that has gotten in my head or whatever, and that frustrates me because that's what I hear when I listen to it. It just works, and I wouldn't question that. I feel like it's something that these two people are really married. They're really singing about real life stuff. It's kind of sometimes persnickety or whatever, and it's about being on the highway, and it's raw and real, and the world that we live in right now with robots and AI,
auto.
I feel like you guys' music is so what people are craving, which is real and raw and two real people.
Thank you.
Human beings.
Thank you so much. It is a Mose Wilson who
Produced the knot.
The knot, and is just incredible human player all the way around. When we were doing this record, we kept saying, hey, if you show us the harmony, we can sing it, And it's when are we going to do a harmony? And he's like, why? He's like, he just refused.
He said, stop trying to impress music snobs.
Quit trying to impress music snobs.
You're not going to.
You're never going to make them happy. He goes, you can sing a perfect harmony, and they're going to find something else to be upset about. He goes, quit. Just do this. It's what you do. It's what's got you this far. And I was like, you're right.
I do think I will say, in our, one thing we do is sing for the sake of the song. And I think that's, along the lines of what you were saying is it's not always time or place for harmony. And so many people will replace, they want technicality over the sake of the song. And we're just not capable. And we think what we do is okay.
It's believable.
And it's believable, yes.
It's so fun. And I feel a lot of pressure to sometimes just because also Paul is so good at everything that I feel sometimes, or we go to festivals and stuff and people sing around and sing the most amazing harmonies, and I forget, and we forget sometimes. People really wish that they could write songs, we could, or have a stage presence,
or just be on stage,
or have the ability to stay out on the road for a long time is another thing. So it's like sometimes we feel in this world we have to have everything all the time, and that's just not true.
Well, I think you're right too. In a world, I think what we do works now so well now in a world full of like AI cheats and all these other kind of things that I think, the little imperfections make people know that it's real.
Yeah, for sure.
What I mean?
For sure.
And other things that we do as well, it's like our guitar tones. I play this like 1980s model Fender Malibu that I love it. It sounds thin, but it's, I have a deep voice. I want a thinner sounding guitar. Her guitar sounds, she's got a jumbo. Her tone's a little deeper because her voice is a little higher. It's like those little sonic things that people don't notice, we notice, and it keeps that stuff from sounding like mud.
And we usually do our best to do octave guitars. With what we're playing, like finger positioning and capo positioning and stuff. We try to not just mud it up with the same chords on two different guitars. We try our best to put a lot of little things in there so that you can't, and it doesn't feel like mud.
It's knowing what you have in your toolbox, right? I know what I can and what I can't sing, and she's the same. Of course, Kira's got just a voice that, she got an amazing voice. She's a much better vocalist than me, but I know what I can and what I can't do, and I just stay in my lane, and I don't, there's a lot of people that sing, that don't know that trick. It's like, we'll see people sing that have like a really good voice, but they do it all of the time and they take the charm out of it. It's like, you don't got to sing that hard all the time.
I'm exhausted just listening to you.
Exactly.
It's
like, Willie calls it urban yodeling.
I call it urban yodeling.
That's amazing.
Yeah. When What Changed My Life, we recorded with Shel Talmy on our album before this. I don't know if you don't know, people listening don't know who Shel Talmy is. He's an American producer that went to England. He was part of the British invasion. He discovered the Kinks and the Who, and he's David Bowie's one of his first managers, and he just passed away last year.
Oh, no!
But he never made a country record, and he heard our second album when it came out and wanted to record it. He loved our voices, and so the next thing we know, that album's out, and next thing we know, we're going to L.A. to make this record with Shel Talmy. But we're in the studio working. We do it all live. And Kira, I played along with the band, led the band kind of. And Kira sang everything. And I went back and sang my parts after it was all done. But I'm working up a song with the band. And Shel was blind. And he would just sit in a little chair. And I'm working up the song with the band. And I'm just kind of singing like this, at this volume. And he pulls me down. And he said, Willie, he goes, that's how you need to sing. He goes, quit trying so hard. He goes, sing in your speaking voice. And it changed. It's like, why didn't somebody tell me this 10 damn years ago?
Yeah.
It just changed how I thought about it. It changed everything about it. It's like now, now I enjoy it, as we're always, man, I always had a complex about it, hitting notes or hitting low, but that changed everything for me. He was like, just
It's weird
sing.
because he told me how much he loved my voice, but then he was so mean to me in the studio and was pushing me nonstop.
Well,
he was such a sweet man. Then you got into the vocal booth and he was like, no, that's wrong. Do it this way. And I was like, I hated it. But
the right producer makes vocals hard.
And there was an absolute reason he did what he did. He got the best takes out of me, the best vocal out of me. But in the moment, I was like, you were so nice to me.
Well, he was so hard on you, because he said that she had one of the best female voices he'd ever heard. So that's why he's
That's
he's
awesome.
like, I'm going to make sure I get the best vocal performance out of you that I can. But
That's
it's just
just
little
tears.
things like that you learn to, use. I hear a lot of people singing that are still trying to figure out, exactly what their
Right.
their tool is.
And that's okay. I mean, I think early on I listened to my voice and I'll cringe at some songs, but you're still finding your voice.
Yes.
And I remember there's one song in particular I recorded where I have a really heavy accent, and my producer, she's like, you don't talk, you don't speak with an accent. Why are you singing with an accent? Well, all of my heroes kind of sang with an accent, or whenever I loved the new Miranda record or whatever it was, I was starting to kind of sing. Or I came to Texas and I was like, beer pressure. Like, I don't talk like that.
Yeah.
And so now I think about that often. That's funny. We've had kind of the same advice when it comes to that, because that is really good advice to kind of sing in your speaking voice instead of trying to change.
Willie always, like, we'll leave, we'll go see a buddy or somebody play in our hometown or something. We'll leave and he'll say, that is not how they talk.
They don't sound like that.
So why are they putting it on so thick when they're singing if
I don't
that's
hear
not how
their
they
singing
talk?
voice in their speaking voice.
Yeah, that's a big problem for him. I don't really care so much. If I have been like drinking, you're going to hear an accent regardless.
Me too,
Like
me
the
too, girl.
second-
Hey.
Like that tequila gets in me, and oh my lord, So I'll say it
funny.
doesn't matter if I'm speaking or singing. That accent's coming out the minute tequila comes out.
Me too.
Yeah.
That's so funny. And I actually did drink a little bit before I did that track. And I think because it was
wonder.
about beer and it was supposed to be, I wasn't singing it fun enough. And I wonder if that's what happened.
I used to drink all the time in the studio. Like it was just part of being in the studio because I was nervous and just hated the experience. But now I don't. Like with Moe's, I wasn't drinking for the knot. And with Shell Tell Me, I was, because it was Shell Tell Me. And I was so scared. I was so scared.
Our morning started, that session started, we had to have our dog put down.
Her dog died that
and
morning.
We were in California. And so
on
FaceTime, we had to watch our dog.
Like, he's got it, took him to so we were on FaceTime. We put our dog down. Good boy.
This is the saddest OnlyVans podcast.
Yeah, I know. And we were like,
ever.
oh my God. But that's how you make a good country record.
Yeah,
Put your dog down before you go in the.
So we watched our dog die, and then I just filled like a Yeti with tequila and was like, let's go. We got to go to work.
Well, and so going on tour like you guys are going down Houston to Tulsa and then back, this will be out by then, but then back to Driftwood, and like, oh my gosh, you are really, really doing it.
It's probably the dumbest routing we've ever had. We normally route a lot better, but you know how it is. Sometimes you just have to take what we'll book, and it's, it's not our favorite. This time we're going to have to leave out after the Houston show. Then we go play an hour in Tulsa and drive out like 3 hours after Tulsa. And then we have like 2 solid 3-hour shows in Driftwood and Aransas. But then, like I said, we have so many days off after that before our next show that it's just kind of like put the work in while you're there, bust your ass, and then go relax somewhere.
Yeah.
It's
and Dallas, I forgot.
Well, it gets harder and harder. So many venues, are just going away for people at our level, and it's getting hard. God bless the house concert series. Those are really, I look forward to more of those popping up. There's some ones that we do that are full-on stops on a tour.
I saw you have one in Arizona or something.
We do. Desert Valley House Concert is, man, their whole backyard, they've dedicated. Junction. They've got like seats lined up, like a little theater
built in their
stage.
backyard.
Her like boyfriend runs sound for you while you're there, and it's a nice system.
They house you right
they
there.
Feed you.
So there's several. Nice. There's a few of those little stops along the way, and it's great because it's, lots of venues are disappearing, man. If unless you're at a Charlie Crockett level or something, where you're playing big theaters
or if you're not doing it all the way across the country. If you're, Texas is so great because you can play 6 nights a week and never have to leave Texas. It's dance incredible. Halls, And those dance hall gigs are so much fun. But if you're doing it all the way across the country, there's some places that want duo only, some places that want full band only. It's just getting harder and harder to get the caliber of shows versus the quantity of shows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We talk about that a lot. It's kind of the 3-hour in the corner gig or the in the arena, how the middle is, even if you're a middle artist, it's like, what do you do next? How do you go from 3-hour gig to arena without all these venues? And if they're all disappearing, hopefully the Ticketmaster win or whatever. Did you see all that?
I did see that
That's
recently.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
I know.
What happened? What am I missing out on?
There's been like so much hoopla about, I don't remember if someone came out and so their texts like between some of the owners and the people that run it, and they were like, we're going to rip them off.
We're robbing them blind.
We're robbing them blind.
Yeah.
They came out just like... Okay. They were trash talking the people that make them their money.
But it is hard. I mean, it's not $10 at the door anymore. It's $24 for a ticket plus $6 for a fee plus
$50 a drink.
Yeah, and then the drinks are expensive, and then if you're Ubering or whatever, it's like even if you're going to just your regular honky tonk, it's a big night out. It's a investment for people.
One of the things I do love about first off, Texas, she was saying, it's always great, but like some of our heroes that we have, it's a very realistic and obtainable goal how they live, and it's like I love, like, Dale Watson's one of our mentors and heroes. It's like this guy will play these tour and do these big theater things, here and there, but then you'll see him, he's just playing some little shithole honky tonk in the corner for the same pay that we would do it for, and it's great. I love that. Not too proud to do that. It's like I'll still play a honky tonk and then I'll go on tour and play these theaters.
Right.
I love that. And sometimes, man, even when we do like theaters, I love it. But man, I like a good dance hall.
Man,
too.
those 90-minute sets to 2 hours, that is like my favorite thing in the world, especially if they're like a nice listening room theater gig. That's my favorite thing ever.
Yeah.
It's that third hour that I always just end up like, ugh. Why are we here? And I love it, especially
time is crawling.
I looked at
It's been 8 minutes in the third hour. Yeah.
We used to do that at the White Horse whenever we play there. We'd put our little timer down on the forehand. I was like, I have to stop doing it. It gives me just nothing but anxiety. Because you feel like, man, we've been going. I'm sure we probably got 30 minutes left, and I'll look down and it's been 20 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
That's good. That one's like an hour and.
It's like
I can't remember. Hour 45.
Hour 45. Because I stopped early on accident at the White Horse because we do a 90-minute set.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't yell at me.
Okay, good.
I think my tour manager might have got the brunt of it. But we're playing there soon. I love that.
Good.
Yeah,
so JD is so
but
wonderful.
I mean, in his defense, the set time, I was wrong.
For sure.
But we're just so used to playing.
That's one of our favorite spots to play.
105. It was like 105 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we didn't have our talkback mic because we rolled no trailer, rolled in. They have all the stuff there. So I did stop a little bit early. Sorry, White Horse. I'm coming back to make up for it.
It's funny when you go, so that thing of, because, you play these songs, you play these shows where you tell stories about the songs and do stuff, man. It's like some of these dance halls, especially like the White Horse, is like, we do not care. We want to dance.
They want to dance.
Song. I don't care about your
it's like,
stories.
we're going to come on stage and cut you both.
That's what made me realize,
singing.
our set is running out fast because there's no jaw jacking in between. But they two-step like it's a sport.
They do.
Yeah.
They're really good at it. And
they're so good.
That's like the one place where Paul and I kind of have a unspoken rule. Maybe it's just me that knows about this rule, but I just never dance with anybody else when I'm on the road. I just think it's odd.
Yeah.
And so I turn people, but except at the White Horse because they are there. They are professionals.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, go dance. I don't care.
Yeah. I don't think I'd do it if I were on the road by myself. I don't think I would go dance with someone else.
But if he's
But Willie also doesn't dance. And he'd be like, can you dance with my wife?
Yeah.
Just to get out of having to
dance,
do it.
but I'm not very good at it.
We need to take some two-step lessons at the White Horse
I would
or
rather
somewhere.
be making you two-step than two-step.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you'll go, from that, and then you play the honky tonks or whatever, and then you go do a listening room where it's like there isn't a sound being made.
Yeah.
And you're like,
It's a little nerve-wracking, but I love
to wrap
it.
your head around it.
I love it.
It's a different, we're always switching gears. I was going to ask you how, we're playing a show with Dale Watson coming up. I'm really excited.
Love him.
He's the best. I was going to ask how you met him, and because I've seen him all over your stuff. He's on one of your songs.
He's
He's
I
so
know
wonderful
Dale
to
from
us.
my solo career, right? I had done some dates with Dale when I was a younger fella, when Dale still had dark hair.
Wow.
And it was so, wound up doing a show with him in Atlanta as the Waymores years later. I probably hadn't seen Dale in 15 years, when we were in Atlanta. And we were opening a show for him with the full band. And it was a place called Smith's Old Bar. And I was in the green room right behind the stage. But I thought the path to get off of stage to come to the green room was cluttered with stuff. So I thought for sure, I knew Dale was about done. He would come down and go that way because it was. But so I'm sitting back there and the band's wrapping it up, and here comes Dale climbing over all the stuff to get. So he comes back there and he was already a fan of the Waymores, but didn't know that
it was
me.
you. Yeah.
And I said, "Hey Dale, I don't know if you remember me, but Willie, Heath, Neal." And he goes, "Little Willie?" And I was like, well, first, I've always been taller than you, Dale. But Little Willie, he goes, "Oh, my God." And, man, he did not let me leave his side all night. He was just like, "Oh, my God, it's so good to see you. I wonder what you've been up to." He goes, "That's you." And he goes, "I knew you sounded familiar." And that was it. And he just stayed in touch with us after that. He would not let us leave his side.
I was downstairs collecting money.
She was downstairs getting her pay, and he's like, "Come with me." And I was like,
woman.
"Well, Kira's going to be real mad," because Kira had never really...
I'd never met him. I met him once, at a show. I snuck backstage, and Willie was on tour, and so I went with his friend David. And I snuck backstage and was like, "Hey, Dale, I'm Willie's girlfriend." And he was like, "Oh, okay." In his Dale fashion. And but that was 100 years ago. And so when I came upstairs at Cecil Bar, Willie was like, "You have to come meet Dale. He's been asking about you."
He pictures all night. Yeah, he like when he's signing autographs, he goes, "No, don't stay." It's like, "We're gonna." He goes, "No, stay. Let's catch up. It was so great." And then when we were putting together our second album, we had always thought it would be his song "Caught" would have made a
I
great.
love that song.
We thought
It's
it'd be
such a good song.
this song. We always thought this song was meant to be a duet from the man and woman's perspective because it's about a man and a woman getting caught, and so. We asked him if he would play guitar on it.
First, we asked for his permission to cover it.
Yeah, it says, "You're all right with us? We'd love to do this." He thought it was a great idea. And then we asked him if he would play guitar on it, and he did. And he, brought us into the Metropolitan thing, which we got nominated, which changed a lot for us.
Yeah.
It's like shows got
good.
easier to get even once we got the nomination. But Dale's always been just a mentor and a great guy. He's just a sweetheart of a fella. He always gets us up on stage when he sees us. He's just a great guy and a great mentor. And you learn going to see Dale is honky tonk high school. I mean, our banter and all this stuff, the humor is like, man, we learned all of that from watching Dale work.
And it's so funny. It's so crazy. I've always been a fan of Texas music and stuff. And now, being able to call someone like that a friend, it's so lovely about Texas music is because everybody is like that, and if they're not, it's really rare because people are so nice.
Yeah, there's not a whole. I mean, you're going to find ego because it's in the music industry, but there's not a whole lot of that in this camp, like the Metropolitan team and just this part of the Texas team. There's not a lot of ego that you're going to find. And beyond Dale, once we got in close with he and Celine,
Celine's also a sweetheart.
We met Manny Payton, his drummer, through the end. Manny houses us every time we come to Texas. He and his wife Roxy, like they are genuine like family at this point.
Dale always will ask us are y'all staying. If he sees us or knows me in town, he goes, he's like, "Are y'all staying with Manny? You got a place to stay because I got an apartment. You can stay." He's always just looking out for us.
That whole team just makes sure that we're taken care of every time that we're here or in Memphis.
Or because we do Hernando's.
And, they're just great people.
Oh,
yeah.
No, I have not.
Oh,
I need to do that.
I'm going to call Celine immediately.
Let's go. Well, I mean, we kind of got where we were playing mostly in Texas, and so now I am getting outside of Texas, which has been. I did 16 states last year, I think, and 12 so I'm I'm expanding.
Yes.
But I love what you all do, and you guys got to go overseas. I mean, we haven't done that since before COVID, and so the dream is to be able to do this all over the country. But sometimes it's harder to leave Texas when you're. This is where I make all my money.
I don't know if we were Texas based, I don't know that we would tour as like in such a range as we do now. I don't know that because there's not a lot of reason to leave Texas. It's wonderful here.
Every time we go out, people love Texas music. It's crazy. Like I just played in Wisconsin. People were coming in Ohio and they'll drive 2 hours because they follow the scene.
Yeah.
But I'm so proud that you guys are doing a bunch of shows here, and then you go New Mexico,
Arizona, California.
And that's so what we do. They're doing it as we do a lot as the duo, and we have that luxury of we have a Nashville band that we use, a California band that we use, a Texas band that we use mostly. But we have that luxury of coming in, doing it with a band in this area, and then leaving them and doing it as a duo. Financially, it's smarter, and we enjoy.
Less overhead.
We don't have to have a band with us all of the time.
Yeah.
And it. But I know several guys that I'm always like, man, you guys should tour outside of Texas, and they're like, why?
Yeah.
It's like the guarantee money cuts in half as soon as I leave Texas.
Yeah.
So I get it. There's a lot of guys that just live on that dance hall circuit, but yeah, I don't know, man. Like we were saying earlier, music is a means to see the world. It's like
and with your person.
And yes, absolutely. And California I couldn't get an email back from California for the longest time until
the whole state.
We got the entire state of California.
Really? No one
I emailed the governor, everything.
Dear California.
Dear California.
Maybe that's why they weren't emailing back.
Gotta be more specific.
Love Georgia. But after Metropolitan, after we got that nomination, we met some folks there, promoters, and within like 20 minutes we had 5 dates booked.
We had
a tour out in
5 shows in
California.
4 days.
Yeah,
booked, and it's like we were coming out that way. We've got family out there too, so that makes it easy for us to have a place to land.
we don't have to afford hotels.
We don't have to get hotels and stuff, but we do pretty good. We've got a good little following in California, and we go there a couple times a year. We tour Texas more than we tour anywhere else, but because Texas is just still good like that, you know.
Good to
but,
us,
we got a good little thing in California now, and we're out there. We had one promoter say to us, we told him, hey, we're going to be back in like 3 months. He's like, you were just out here. Why are you coming back? It's like, because there's demand for it.
Yeah.
Because we can.
Because we can, you know.
My daddy's out here.
Oh,
we
also
gotta
that.
stay.
I'm so happy. Well, we have listeners of this podcast all over the country and even the world. So please check out the Waymores, and you won't be disappointed. I've been just loving getting to dive into your music, and it's just a very raw, real sound, great songwriting, and sometimes I say raw and real, like I mean that in like
No,
the
we
obvious
take it
best
as a
way.
good
It's
way.
like,
Yeah, good
you're
thing,
not
yeah.
gonna get any. I got sent 10 Suno songs this week from people pitching me robot songs, and so when I was listening to y'all, I was like, I felt myself just take like a deep exhale. I was like, music is still, and live music is still. You know, you're still bringing it to the people, and so I commend you for that.
Thank you very much.
We've been forwarded a lot of reviews and people talking about this record. Is that real country still? You know, it's like there are people that we played. This kid's little country band was playing the same venue as us not long ago, and they're like, I thought we were country until we saw.
He saw our sound check.
Yeah, it's our sound check.
No.
It's like, we're not country at all.
They have time. They were like 16.
Yeah, they have time. But and I love it because it's not. We just make music and it comes out country.
That's exactly, and you're staying true to yourself, and that's what we're proponents of on this podcast. And so we'll let y'all get back on the road. And I'm so glad to meet my new friends or see my new friends.
Yes.
Thanks for having
And we need
us.
to hang out more next time you come
definitely.
to
Yeah,
Palm
for sure.
Falls.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Maybe
on
we
your stuff.
tag team some shows together.
Yeah,
That
for
would
sure.
be awesome.
For sure.
Okay, we'll see you in Atlanta.
Thank you.
Dear Atlanta. Dear California.
Dear California.
Dear Georgia.
Adios.
Without you, I just ain't no good.